Hello friends, I'm Noreen and today I'm gonna talk about how to configure Docker slave in the Jenkins master. To configure the Docker slave in the Jenkins master, you need a machine. Prepare one machine. In this demo, I prepare Ubuntu 20.04. Install the Docker and other tools, and then we will configure a slave machine in the Jenkins. So I already created a EC2 instance in AWS. Here is the IP address and I have the PuTTY. I connect this machine using the PuTTY, and I also have a script that can help you to install Docker and OpenJDK. So let's take a look at this script first before we are executing this script in the machine. So this script is working and tested in 20.0 Ubuntu 20, and here is the reference. This is the reference guide. I prepare this script by referring the official Docker website. First, make sure you have sudo permission or you use a sudo when you are running the commands. First things first, we will update all the packages and repositories. Now remove old versions, and then we will remove all the old Docker version if it is exist. Run this command without any problem. This command will just return that nothing is installed if it is not installed. Now set up the Docker repository. Now before installing the Docker, we need to set up the Docker repository, and also we are gonna install the curls and CA certificates. Then we need to add Docker official GPG key. You can just run this command and it will be add the GPG key. Then we will add the stable repository of the Docker in that Docker list. And then after we will install the Docker engine. Again, it's always good to update the repositories and packages. Then you can run this command to install the Docker. And we also installing a Docker Compose is not really required, but if you want to execute a Docker Compose command, it's better to install the Docker Compose here. Then after, we want to add Ubuntu in a Docker group, so we can skip adding a sudo when we are running a Docker command from the Jenkins. Now, as you already familiar that any slave in the Jenkins required to install Java, because the Jenkins communicating with the slave using the JDK. So we also gonna install the Java OpenJDK, and then we will also reinstall the Git. So here is the script. I copy this script and I already connected in my EC2 instance. Let's say we can create the okay, so I think I have to reconnect it. Never mind. We can reconnect, let's say, we need to get the IP. Here is the IP address that we're gonna connect, and I'm connecting this using a private key. If you don't know how to use the PuTTY, then just install the PuTTY, and in the SS configuration and authentication, here you can select the private key. So for example, I say I will select the private key, and then it will ask me to ask me to give her the username. I will say Ubuntu. This is my username. Okay, here we go. So we can create my script.sh, and vi command is using the is like a Vim editor. After launching the editor, hit the I key. It will just allow you to insert the content. Now let's copy all the script contents here and then go here, paste it. Now we have pasted, and escape key colon WQ exclamation mark and then save it. Now let's do ls. Now we create this script, but this script do not have the execute permission, so it only have the read write and read. Okay, so we need to give the execute permission. So how do we go? How do we assign the execute permission? Sudo, there is a command chmod, and 7 represent read, write, and execute. So I want to give everything 7. So each group like have the execute permission, and then I will specify the file name. So now let's do it ls again. Now you can see the we have the execute permission here. You can see the X in each group. Okay, and the script also, the script color also changed. So let's run this script. My script, so it will be executing all the command that we specified there in the script. So it will take some time. While it is ready, we will take a look on the Jenkins. Here is the Jenkins server. I already have a Jenkins server deployed on port 8081, and in this Jenkins server, in this Jenkins master, I have nothing, just created one user, and there is no job at all. But before we create the job, let's go to check how many plugins we have installed, because this is a new Jenkins and I have installed several plugins here. So just look at this plugin ss build as in. I will tell you why this plugin we need to install, because whenever you are connecting any slave using SSH key, you need to install this plugin, so the option will visible when you are configuring the node. Okay, so yeah, this is still executing something. Okay, probably it will be finished soon. Okay, so let's go to the dashboard. I don't want to create a job, I just want to configure a slave node. So let's say this is the manage Jenkins settings. We will go to manage node and cloud. Here this is the inbuilt node, and just hit the new node. It will ask you that, okay, tell me the name of new node. I said okay, it should be a Docker agent, and I want to keep it permanent. Help me to create. Okay, here it create. Let's see. Okay, so our script executed successfully. So now let's check first Docker version. Okay, we have a Docker. We successfully installed the Docker, and let's say Java version. Java version should be this. Okay, we have also installed Java. Git version. We also installed a Git 2.25. Perfectly fine for now. And okay, so let's go here. We are here and me saying Docker as in number of executor is one. We want to keep one. No. And what will be the remote root directory? I say okay, keep it everything and open home Ubuntu. This is my user actually. And the label, the label you can give any label, but after configuring a slave node, I will run a pipeline job. So let's say give a this label. So we will give this label. Label is just nothing but to identify the node. Okay, like you have many slave nodes in your Jenkins master. How you are identifying that some of the Jenkins jobs should run on a specific node. So the label will help you to. And you can also, of course, you can also check the click on the question help button, and it will tell you more information about what is the label and all these steps. Now, another setting like use this node as much as possible. I will keep the default. Now, here is the important things. Now, here is the important things. So here we don't have we have the option launch agent via SSH. So this option will not visible until you will not install that plugin that I mentioned earlier. So to visible this option launch agent via SS, you need to install SSH build agent plugin. Perfect. So now let's say I want to launch with SSH is saying okay, and then we will get the instance IP. Here you can paste the instance IP. Now you need to provide the credential, but wait a minute, you cannot share the machine credential because it's something like assigned to your machine. Okay, and here but we mentioned we want to connect with SSH. So here there is only one option if there is no credential exist. Before recording this video, I already created one credential. If you we will use this one, but you can also create the credential by clicking add Jenkins. Now we want to connect this machine using SSH, so select this option SSH username and tab with private key. You can give a name, you can give the ID to easily track your credential later on when you have many credentials. My crate, okay, and keep the same description. I will say like now you type the username that is our Ubuntu, and then you have to paste your private key. Now, right now we are like in this video we are connecting EC2 instance. So EC2 instance already enabled the SSH. If you are configure your on-premise instance, then you need to you need to generate the SSH key and copy the public key into the in the slave machine and paste the private key that you generated here in the Jenkins. So we don't want to create this here because we already have one and we will gonna use this one. Now here is host key verification strategy. There are 4 types of strategy that you can use. In this video we're gonna use 2. use the last one, non-verifying verification strategy, and save it. So now you can see here we are launching, and let's say what happening in the things. So it's trying to connect the EC2 instance. If everything goes well, you can successfully connect it, and it after it authenticated, and then it will be checking the Java version, and it found starting the client, copy remote jar file, and initializing things. So I will be done soon. Now let's go here. The Jenkins is still not alive. Okay, it will take some time to alive. Now you can keep checking the log. Okay, this is a Unix agent is saying, okay, I'm going to have something. It installed everything, and here is the things it keep it, like remoting folder under in the home Ubuntu. Now let's see. So okay, now we refresh the page and agent is connected, so we don't need this log window. Now agent is connected, so now let's go to the dashboard. Great. Now we don't have, as I said, this is the new Jenkins and you don't have any job exist here. So let's try to execute the things in the freestyle project. We don't want to run the pipeline. Let's go the default one what we have. So let's say demo and select the freestyle project, press OK. Now we will restricted this job in a specific label. So we can say we have a Docker agent, but it's saying no agent could match this label expression. Of course not, because we assign a different label. Let's check what label we assigned, and where we check, we go here, and then here is the label. So the label name is manage contact demo. So let's go here again. Let's see, it's detect. Okay, let's get the label. Now we have the label, and we want to just executing shell command, and we will say okay. We will run, let's say, Docker version. Okay, let's save it. Now let's build and see what happened. It start building. Let's go into the log, console log. Then it's running. It's saying, okay, I'm running on the Docker agent, and here is the workspace under the home directory that we configured in the slave node. Here is the workspace demo, and it failed. It's saying Docker not found. Docker not found. That's strange. Docker not found. Again, we have to choose the Docker. We already checked the Docker version. Here is the Docker. Perfectly fine. So it's saying Docker is not exist. Perhaps it's not exist because we use capital E. Let's change it. Let's change and see what exactly happening there. Let's say, okay, we don't need a Docker capital, but we will check again, build again. Now the second job is building. Sometimes you click on the build and it will be not pop up the job, then do the refresh. Okay, let's click again. Now, as I said, sometimes it's not building. So now you can see we just put it the capital D, so that was the problem there. And you can see when we are running the Docker version, it will tell us the Docker version steps. So this is for this video. That's all for this video. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.